Good afternoon, Ghana. It's 12 o'clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
It's midday. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. The news is live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. It's also live around the world on citinewsroom.com. I am Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Coming up, Minerals Commission expresses shock at Akonta Mining's denial of illegal mining operations in the Tano Forest Reserve as evidence point to say.
I'm actually surprised about the earlier letter you wrote. There are photos, there are videos, there are evidences of what was happening within that. But we just go straight ahead to revoke the license.
Meanwhile, Akonta Mining hint of taking legal action over the revocation of the company's lease.
The minister didn't have the power to do without the thorough investigation by the commission. We have sent instructions from my client to go to court to defend the interests of my client.
Also coming up, West African leaders gather in Accra to mark 50 years of ECOWAS, reaffirming commitment to peace and unity within the sub-region.
ECOWAS has evolved from a modest economic cooperation framework into a dynamic, multifaceted regional community, championing not only economic integration, but also peace, security, democracy, and social development.
Still ahead, Vatican announces Saturday, April 26 as burial date for the late Pope Francis at St. Peter's Square. Meanwhile, some Ghanaians have been sharing their fondest memories of the late head of the Catholic Church.
Alle ore 7:35.
Dear brothers and sisters, with deep sorrow, I must announce.
And later, 11 dead on gory accident at Suhum on the Accra-Kumasi Highway. All that and more on Citi Prime News, which is live on affiliate across the 16 regions of the country. Western region, we are live on Premier FM 100.5, Beach FM 105.5 and Sky Power FM 93.5, all in Takrady. Bono region, this is J Life 95.5 in Sunyain. Ashanti region, Orange FM 107.9 in Kumasi. Volta region, we are live on Global FM 105.1 in Ho. Adanu FM 107.7 in Adakluwaya. Northern region, Radio Diamond FM 93.7 in Tamale. Upper West, we are live on Westlink 88.1 in Laura. Upper East, Source FM 100.1 in Boko, and Northeast region, we are live on Scarp FM 101.3 in Nakmanduri.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for staying with us. The Deputy Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission, Isaac Tando, has expressed surprise at Akonta Mining's denial of illegal operations in the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve. This follows government revocation of the company's mining lease after a raid that led to over 50 arrests and the seizure of excavators and weapons. Akonta Mining has denied the claims, calling them politically motivated. Speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, Isaac Tando insisted there is substantial evidence linking the company to the activities. He further warned that firms and public officials found complicit in the case will be investigated.
I'm actually surprised about the earlier letter you wrote. I'm yet to look at it, but there was a clear-cut violation of what ought not to be done. Yes, there are coordinates, there are photos, there are videos, there are evidences of what was happening within that. But we just go straight ahead to revoke the license. I mean, if they have any cause to come against or file against the decision, I mean, they have every right to do so. But we have enough evidence not to let them continue with what they are doing. In any case, this is just the beginning. People can write letters or write rebuttals and stuff in the newspaper. I don't think it's anything I would bother my head with that. I would leave the AG to process and start with its work and make sure that the noise we've been making, at least the brains behind some of these catastrophic activities, are dealt with in a manner that will put other people away.
Isaac Tando is the Deputy Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission. Meanwhile, an anti-Galamsey advocacy group, Generational Rights Protection Society, set to stage a protest on Monday, April 28, to demand a clear and decisive blueprint for tackling illegal mining. At a press conference today, the group decried the worsening state of water bodies and forest reserves, calling for an immediate declaration of a state of emergency. Speaking at the event, convener of the group, Kwame Appiah-Kubi, stressed that the fight against illegal mining must be devoid of politics to effectively safeguard the country's natural resources.
We have put ourselves together as a group. We are ready to champion the cause and to raise the advocacy a little bit more higher. Galamsey must fall, and indeed we have an intended demonstration coming up beginning on the 28th of this month. We want the entire country to know that yes, indeed, there were several promises that were given during the campaign season, but today few has been done. We want clear directives as to how the government of the day is fighting Galamsey. The minister who has been placed in charge of natural resources and lands must give the country and the entire populace a very good blueprint as to how we are managing our environment and how we are approaching this cancer called Galamsey.
He had the convener of Generational Rights Protection Society, Kwame Appiah-Kubi. Now, Akonta Mining, the company whose license is in the process of being revoked for alleged illegal mining activity, is heading to court. At a press briefing, the Minister for Land and Natural Resources directed the Minerals Commission to revoke the company's license. Akonta Mining, owned by the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, stands accused of operating unlawfully in the Aboy and Tano Nimiri forest reserves. However, lawyer for Akonta Mining, Andy Appiah-Kubi, in an interview with Citi News, accused the minister of bypassing due legal processes and denying the company its right to a fair hearing.
Thorough investigation by the committee minister under the law and the report from that same committee. And indeed, it is so critically important that the alleged offender ought to be given a hearing in the investigation. And all this didn't happen. And again, when you come out with a sanction before you form the committee, then you would have prejudiced the work of the committee. And we are saying that you will not be a judge in your own court. So the minister did something wrong and it was so unlawful and he didn't have powers so to do. This is our position. So what we are saying is that all those allegations will remain allegations until proven with evidence. And we are inviting him to constitute the committee and let us have opportunity to also defend the position we have taken. And I tell you that we have firm instructions from my clients to go to court to defend the interests of our clients.
When are we expecting you to file the process?
We are preparing. So give and take by Thursday, they will hear on that.
Lawyer for Akonta Mining, Andy Appiah-Kubi. Let's still stay on issues to do with illegal mining because the Ghana Police Service has begun a major shake-up in its ranks as part of effort to intensify the fight against Galamsey. A statement from the police service says the move is in line with the Inspector General of Police, Christian Dedoyohono's commitment to wage a sustained war on Galamsey. The reshuffle affects divisional and district commanders, particularly in the Eastern South, Western and Western North regions. Those are the zones identified as hotbeds of illegal mining. Joining us on the phone lines is the Director of Public Affairs at the Ghana Police Service, ACP Grace Ansah-Kofi. Good afternoon to you, Madam. Thank you for your time. Is this reshuffle a result of intelligence report or public concerns that have been raised about some police officers being compromised in the fight against illegal mining? Hello, madam. Hello. We try and reconnect the lines and speak to the Director of Public Affairs for the Ghana Police Service, ACP Grace Ansa Akrofi. This is still the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM with me, Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Let's do some other stories now. And the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, says ECOWAS is committed to upholding its founding principles of unity, peace, and economic integration across West Africa. Addressing heads of states and ministers of ECOWAS member states in Accra, the minister indicated that the vision to uphold and strengthen regional cooperation remains integral to shaping the future.
Evolve from a modest economic cooperation framework into a dynamic, multifaceted regional community, championing not only economic integration but also peace, security, democracy, and social development. From promoting intra-regional trade and cross-border infrastructure projects to deploying peacekeeping missions in moments of crisis and facilitating the free movement of our people, ECOWAS has made remarkable strides in advancing the collective aspirations of West Africans. This 50th anniversary milestone offers us an opportunity to reflect on the challenges we have overcome, the progress we have made, and the sacrifices of those who envision a united, prosperous and peaceful West Africa. It is also a time to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to the ideals upon which this community was founded. As we launch these celebrations today, let us look forward together. The next chapter of ECOWAS must build on the foundations of the past, while boldly embracing the future.
Head Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. Let's go back to our earlier story where the Ghana Police Service has begun a shake-up in its ranks as part of effort to intensify the fight against illegal mining. Joining us on the phone line this time again is the Director of Public Affairs at the Ghana Police Service, ACP Grace Ansa Akrofi. Madam, good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. Now, is this reshuffle as a result of intelligence report or public concerns that have come up against police officers being compromised in the fight against illegal mining?
Thank you for having us. Good afternoon to your listeners. Yes, that's part of our processes, especially in our fight against illegal mining. The police administration, under the leadership of the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Teteyofonu, as part of our review processes, came to realize the need to conduct a reshuffle in the command positions of some areas where galamsey or illegal mining activities have been taking place, and to better get the fight to the people and also achieve our strategic objectives, the IGP found it necessary to reshuffle these officers in these galamsey areas.
Now, one question that have also come up is that is the reshuffling going to affect only commanders or personnel will also be involved, looking at the fact that sometimes people accuse police personnel of also being behind this compromise?
So the reshuffling has started with our commanders, but it's just a first phase. We are expecting several other phases to follow as we gather information and review our processes. If it becomes necessary in the second phase that some of the men are also moved, the administration will not hesitate to do whatever it takes to succeed in this fight against illegal mining.
Finally, how is the Ghana Police Service going to ensure transparency and accountability among its officers in these high-risk areas of illegal mining?
So the police administration has adopted several approaches towards this fight. As we reshuffle our officers, we are also involved in conducting very active operations in the affected areas. As you may be aware, just this week we've done a lot of activities within the western regions. In the other regions as well, a lot of work have been done. If you take the eastern region, part of the western region, even the upper west region, we have done a lot of operations. A lot of arrests have been made, and some shamfans and excavators have been retrieved as well. Regarding accountability, you know that primarily as an institution, we know we are accountable to the good people that we serve. We also have various layers of supervision within our chain of command, which have been highly activated to ensure there's transparency in our processes. Additionally, with the exception of a few of our operations which are strictly covert for security reasons, most policing duties are performed in the full glare of the public. And in this regard, we are open to feedback and also complaints from members of the public through our Police Professional Standards Bureau, or any other means that the public will reach out and give us feedback as far as the activities of our officers and men in these areas are concerned. We would be very appreciative.
Now, one would ask, is the reshuffling going to be periodically, or this is just it for now?
So, like I indicated, transfers are a part of our routine activities in the service. But sometimes when we have a strategic objective to achieve, we also conduct some of these transfers. And this particular one in the Galamsey areas are part of a strategic objective. And so as we review the operations, if it becomes necessary for more reshuffling to be done periodically, we will do so. But remember, I said this is just the first phase. Several other phases will follow to intensify our fight against illegal mining, inject fresh energy into these areas, and ensure that our objective of fighting illegal mining is achieved.
Grateful for your time. You heard the Director of Public Affairs for the Ghana Police Service, ACP Grace Ansa Akrofi. This is still the City Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. Still ahead, Vatican announces Saturday, April 26 as burial date for the late Pope Francis at St. Peter's Square. We have details of that plus other stories coming up shortly. Please stay with us.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Looking for the latest buzz in Ghana's entertainment world? Welcome to Ghana Weekend, your ultimate destination for all things creativity and entertainment.
Stay in the loop with breaking news, exclusive interviews, and then insider stories from your favorite creatives and stars. From music, movies, fashion and art, lifestyle and culture, Ghana Weekend brings it all together. Get a daily dose of entertainment, discover new talents, and never miss out on the creativity that defines our vibrant culture.
Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle Ghana Weekend, on X Ghana Weekend, on TikTok Ghana Weekend, at Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube for the latest in entertainment, travel, and everything Ghana. Don't miss out. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, where entertainment meets creativity. Visit GhanaWeekend.com now.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, some residents in the Volta region continue to grapple with unannounced blackout and low voltage despite a recent directive by the regional minister to the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, and Gridco to urgently resolve the ongoing power crisis. Residents in Ho and surrounding areas say the situation, which has remained unchanged for nearly a month, is negatively affecting their businesses and disrupting their daily lives. Some business owners have been forced to rely on costly generators to stay operational. In an interview with Citi News, the Assembly member for the Bosontoy electoral area, Sefaji Agama, appealed to the authorities to resolve the issues promptly.
We are having so many challenges as far as the electricity supply system is concerned. Nowadays, almost every evening we experience light outs. And where there is no light out, we have low current. Our gadgets cannot operate. Our fans, due to high temperatures nowadays, our fans can no longer function well. The lights are dim, and it's causing a whole lot of challenges to us. Our gadgets get destroyed easily. TV sets, fridges, deep freezers, and whatever you can think about. So it is an appeal. I want to make a special appeal to the Volta Regional Minister, knowing too well that he is concerned. He has shown concerns. So I'm just hoping and praying that his efforts will yield fruits, and that whatever solutions that will come out of the efforts will be a lasting solution, and not something that will lead us into another thing in the nearest future. So the situation is so, I may say, appalling, and we are not happy about it. So we are hoping for a speedy resolution to it.
Sefaji Agama is assembly member for the Bosontoy electoral area in the Volta region. Meanwhile, ECG, in collaboration with Gridco, has identified faulty transformers at the Asiakpe bulk supply unit as the primary cause of the ongoing power challenges in parts of the Volta region. Repair works commenced this morning to address the issue and restore stable electricity to the affected areas. Speaking to Citi News, the public relations officer for the ACG in the Volta region, Eunice Chunibwa-Kodia, assured residents that power supply will stabilize once the repair works at the identified stations are completed.
We made customers aware that it's a generational problem, and that the little thing that we can do is to engage Gridco people to come and work on the issue. Today being 22nd of April was given to us that they will come. As we speak now, we are here with them to work on the problem that they have identified. Work is still ongoing. This morning, ECG Management Volta Region and PURC Management Volta Region, we did a joint inspection. So we are here. We went to another site that we also presume that another issue was there. So Gridco people have divided themselves into two. One part is with the DSP as here, and the other part is at Ahunda, where they have located or established another fault that they are working on it. We are hopeful. Even before this maintenance work came on, we told them and gave them the assurance that we are hopeful that after this maintenance work, the low voltage issue will be minimized and outage would also be solved. So we are hopeful that after this maintenance work, everything will come back to normalcy.
That was a public relations officer for the ECG in the Volta region, Eunice Chunibwa-Kodia. The Ghana Psychological Society has expressed concern over the growing trend of mocking suicide on social media. This comes in the wake of the death of a University of Education Winneba student who allegedly took his own life after discovering his girlfriend's infidelity. Speaking to Citi News, the public relations officer for the association, Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur, noted that while Ghana has made strides in mental health care, such insensitive social media trend risk undermining efforts to support individuals in distress.
Things. The first one is that it's going to increase or encourage stigmatization of mental health related problems. So stigma may go up. Again, also, those who are really, really going through difficult times and they may be contemplating suicide, it may actually be a barrier to seeking the right help because they feel they'll be mocked at. And again, too, the country has made a lot of gains. When it comes to promoting and providing some services when it comes to mental health, and I think all those things is not going to help at all. And again, what it means is that when people are going through stuff, they may not even understand that what they are going through is a mental health problem and they need help. So the approach to some of these things, I think, is just not okay.
Dr. Newman Arthur also stressed that mental health issues should not be trivialized or turned into social media trends.
It's more irresponsible for people to mock and trivialize something as important as suicide. And generally, almost every trend that comes, people start, getting involved. And I think that people can do it for other things, but when it comes to very, very important issues like mental health issues or health issues, it is not a point for mockery at all. So I think generally our society is losing it. Maybe there is some gap in the transfer of what is really right for this generation. And I don't think it's a good thing.
We had the public relations officer of the Ghana Psychological Association, Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur. A Ghanaian woman who spent 10 years in Libya is cautioning others against undertaking the dangerous journey as she recounts harrowing experiences of near-death situations. Kukwa, not her real name, says she was enticed by promises of high-paying jobs and sold her business in 2014 to finance the trip, only to endure beatings, starvation and hardship alongside her 3 other children. Though she eventually secured work as a housemaid, she lived in constant fear, especially as a Christian, in a volatile environment where ISIS militants carried out brutal executions. With assistance from Ghana's embassy and the International Organization for Migration, she safely returned home and is now appealing to others not to repeat her mistakes.
It was a friend of mine that told me about Libya, so I was like, okay. So I was having a cosmetic shop, and I sold it.
You sold the shop?
Yes, I sold it and then gave the money to the friend, and she took me to. So on the way we faced a lot of things, like a whole lot, because they are, the soldiers, they don't even understand anything, and I don't speak French.
Oh no.
So when you get to the border, they just stop you, sometimes tell you to come down from the car, search you. When you have money on you, they take the money.
Take the money?
Yes, they take the money, and then sometimes beat some of the people.
Oh.
They beat them. Some people think they can pass there to Europe, but it's not easy. People do die on the sea all the time. People do die. The boat can sink at any time.
That was a Ghanaian repatriated from Libya sharing her story anonymously. The Vatican has officially announced that the funeral mass for Pope Francis will be held on Saturday, April 26, 2025 at St. Peter's Square. His body, currently lying in a coffin at the chapel of the Santa Marta residence, will be transferred to St. Peter's Basilica tomorrow, where it will lie in state for public viewing. Following the Pope's passing, more than 1 billion Catholics across the globe now look towards the election of a new Supreme Pontiff. Meanwhile, some Catholic faithfuls have been reflecting on the legacy and passing of the Holy Father.
A very sad moment for all of us. At least we prayed for his recovery, and so the mere sight of him brought us some hope. It is sad for us, but at least for me as a Catholic and a Catholic priest, it also gives me some hope, especially around the season when this whole thing happened. Because now we are celebrating the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. That is around Easter. And Jesus Christ died, he rose again. Death couldn't conquer him in the tomb. So at least if it's happening around this season, gives me hope that in fact what happened to Jesus Christ is the same that has happened to our Pope. That he is also dead, but death is not the end of life, that he would rise again.
I saw how he was blessing the people. On Easter day, people were bringing their children. He was blessing them. So I knew that it was a home calling by God himself, that his servant should come to rest.
I know that he never departed from the Catholic doctrine, and subsequent popes will not. There has been a lot of media with messages saying things, writing broadcasts and all that, claiming that was the Pope who said them, but they're not true. So if you stick to the literal and you stick to the Catholic channels, you find out that these are not true.
It's been a sad day for us, and there have been prayers at various times of the day to pray for his soul. So as it is now, there are preparations for his burial. As I know, today, this evening, there will be a mass in the chapel in Rome, where they will start the processes for his burial.
Those were some Catholic faithfuls reflecting on the legacy and passing of Pope Francis. Now, 11 people have lost their lives in a fatal accident that occurred around 5 a.m. today at Amanasi near Suhum on the Accra-Kumasi highway. The crash involved a fuel tanker and a Benz Sprinter bus. While the exact cause remains unclear, preliminary police investigations suggest the tanker driver, who is believed to have dozed off, veered into the path of the oncoming Sprinter. The impact claimed the lives of 2 women and 9 men on the spot, while several others sustaining severe injuries. Personnel from the Suhum Fire Service and police were deployed to the scene to carry out rescue operations and manage traffic flow along the highway. Now, Ghanaian students in Hungary are appealing to the government of Ghana to clear 11 months of outstanding stipend. The National Executive Committee of the Student in Hungary says students pursuing undergraduate, master's and doctoral programs have been left in financial distress due to the prolonged delay. Now, spokesperson for the student, Peter Walasi Adanu, has been speaking to Citi News.
The situation is really, really bad. It's so terrible to say the least. Most especially to the junior ones, the bachelor students who have not experienced any life on their own or outside their parents. And so this is the first expose they are having. It is so pathetic and demeaning, to say the least.
You had the president of Ghana Student in Hungary, Peter Walasi Adanu. And that's it for today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. Please log on to citinewsroom.com for more stories. I am Hawa Idrisu Mustafa.
Citi News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.